The BodyArmor Pro Series has finally returned from another month-long break, but we're finally ready to get some of these races going as we have ourselves 9 races left to go until a champion is crowned. It could be crowned a little bit earlier than that, but we are going to have a lot of fun from now until Christmas Eve and the finale at the Homestead Miami Speedway. The championship stretch here in the BodyArmor Pro Series starts today at Talladega, and it's not just one race that we're doing here, but rather 2. We got this one here today, tomorrow as well. It's GRT Double Dega Race number 1 here today from the Talladega Super Speedway, race 17 of the season in the 2025 BodyArmor Pro Series. Hello everybody, this is AG here, and welcome to the Talladega Super Speedway here for race 17 and for tomorrow, race 18 of the season here in the BodyArmor Pro Series. We started all the way back in January. Here we are in October. We're now entering this championship stretch. In this championship battle, though, Blaine Keys does have a 2-race win worth of points lead on Rogaldorn. Still could end up falling in Rogaldorn's favor in these last 9 races based on the momentum that Rogel has had. Got the last win at New Hampshire. And here at Talladega, it's anyone's game. The next 3 races are on super speedways. We got this one here again tomorrow, and then Zen Joltis a couple weeks from now. And Blaine Keys could very well, realistically, not even point in any of those races. And Rogel could theoretically win all those races, and then he'd be the points leader. So it could be a huge swing once we get through the super speedway stretch. Still got Coca-Cola Speedway coming up as well the day before Thanksgiving. So nothing is set in stone in terms of this title here in the BodyArmor Pro Series at this point in the season. But join alongside Daniel Paulus Jr. to call this one. And Daniel, you were here at the beginning of the season when we saw Blaine Keys win 3 races in a row. He has led in the points the entire season. He still has a very healthy point lead, but this is definitely a trap event. Double Dega, 2 Talladega races, and that point lead, in theory, can go down to 14 points after this weekend is done. So if you're Blaine Keys, what do you need to do here today at Talladega and tomorrow at Talladega to avoid losing points and finding yourself up front to possibly have a shot at even winning his 4th race of the season?
Well, if I was Blaine Keys, what I want to do is find drafting partners, stay out of the big one, make smart moves, don't make any dumb moves, try to play every lap like it is the first lap. Be safe, because you just don't know when the big one will occur or if it would occur. And if you wreck out this first race at Talladega, going into next Talladega race, and you DNF in that race as well, you could lose a whole bunch of points, and you don't want to do that. So I think you want to play very smart, but you also want to be leading that white flag and be in the front, so then you're not in the back of the pack where it could potentially get really messy.
We'll just have to see how it ends up shaking out for Blaine. Of course, he may not even have to get wrecked out to fail the point. Of course, only the top 10 finishers receive championship points in these Pro Series races. We're also done with the combination races as well. So, rest of the season is all the 24 drivers, and that is it. No East Series, no West Series. West Series has one more race left, and they crown their champion, and they're out of here. And then it's just going to be the Pro Series for me the rest of the year. And we're looking forward to seeing how the rest of the season goes down. Also looking forward to these 2 races, because if you've been on the channel a long time, remember all the races used to be done without the restrictor plates here at Talladega, and we'd be pushing 220. Well, guess what? That's what we're doing this weekend here in the BodyArmor Pro Series. No restrictor plates for the BodyArmor Pro Series Super Speedway races, and that's what makes it even harder. These guys are going to be flying around here. It's cloudy weather, which means there's a lot of grip on this racetrack, and these guys are going to have a lot of horsepower, but also that means we might see some reliability issues as well, which is very common here at Talladega, so these guys have to be careful in that regard. But 2 races to do it, only 24 laps each for these races, and you got to make sure you're in the right position at the right time if you want to get the race victory. It could be a huge point swing, especially for a lot of those guys behind Blaine Keys, as you see in the points right there. Blaine still has that 64-point lead, but Rogaldorn won the last race in New Hampshire, has found a lot of speed as of late, starting to really find his way up there. Starts on pole here for this one at Talladega. Ladovic Charette, outside pole, is 67 points behind. She has a good shot at winning this title as well, and after the way she dominated the Kentucky race, that was a wild race there behind her. She won that thing by nearly 7 seconds. Watch out for Ladovic on some of these speedways and maybe even short tracks that we got coming up here on the remaining schedule. Stuart Gratton, he starts 3rd in this race, is 4th in the points, 71 points behind. Leonard Kochmer, Andrew Miller both tied for 5th in the standings. 86 points behind Andrew Miller, has the tiebreaker in that regard. Of course, 25 points for the win. That is for this race and tomorrow's race as well. So both races are standalone events with full points. So getting up to the front is going to be very crucial here today at Talladega. Rogaldorn, Ludovic Charette on the front row. Stuart Gratton and Matthew Hubert in row number 2. Thomas Troxel and Isaac Nichols in row number 3. You got Nathan Stapleton and Matt Tuck in row 4. Mr. Edge, Nicholas Samedeo to the inside of Carson Miller. Of course, Samedeo and Blaine Keys both trying to break the tie on the all-time wins list. We've been stuck at 31 between Keys, Samedeo, and Fitzy for a while now. And both of these guys trying to break that tie. We'll see if they can do so here today and get to win 32 of their long careers. See at the back of the field right there, you got Baranowskis and Alonso in the back of the field. Anyone can win this race, though, here today. With the way these speeds are, and with it being a super speedway, these guys are going to be cycling through quite a bit here in Double Dega race number 1. Let's go ahead and get these drivers to roll off here from Talladega. And Daniel, of course, we got this whole field here and where they're starting, but it almost doesn't really matter where you start here at Talladega because we know we're going to see a lot of cycling. So with all that info, who do you think's got the best shot at winning here today in GRT Double Dega race number 1?
I believe Rogaldorn is going to capture the win here tonight at Talladega. He is the underdog behind Blaine Keys, who's been leading the BodyArmor Pro Series, and I do believe that Rogaldorn can get the job done.
Just have to see, of course, he starts on the pole position here today, coming off that race victory a month ago at New Hampshire. Of course, a very different racetrack than this one. But Rogel's got a lot of momentum, and I have a very good feeling that once we get to races like Atlanta and the finale at Homestead on Christmas Eve, that he's actually going to be in a good position. If he's within a race winning worth of points in that finale race on Christmas Eve at Homestead, watch out for Rogaldorn to have a shot at stealing this championship away from Blaine Keys. And Blaine has led in the championship this entire season. Got the opening wins in the first 3 races of the season, has not visited victory lane since here in the Pro Series, but has amassed 11 top 5s, which gets you a lot of points, and of course 12 top 10s. 64-point lead coming into this with 9 races left to go, starting there in the 12th position here today. And of course, we're going to see these guys cycle through all throughout the day, and you got to be in the right place at the right time if you're going to go to victory lane here at Talladega. Rogaldorn and Ludovic Charette on the front row. Stuart Gratton, this is GRT Double Dega. You're a GRT driver, Daniel, over in the Wall Cup Series with Team Velocistar. And a lot of the GRT affiliates in this one, like Gratton, like Matthew Hubert and Matt Tuck, Nathan Stapleton driving for Team Velocistar, Isaac Nichols, Ludovic Charette, they're all starting up front in this race. As a matter of fact, the first non-Ford starting is Nicholas Samedeo in 9th. You got the top 8, which are all Fords. Of course, this is a Ford-dominated series here in the BodyArmor Pro Series. We'll just have to see if the Fords do dominate this one here today, or will it be somebody else? Rogaldorn and Ludovic Charette going to lead us off to the green flag, and it's Double Dega here from Talladega. Only 24 laps today, 24 laps tomorrow, but we're going to have a lot of fun as the BodyArmor Pro Series is back after a month-long break, and we're underway here in Talladega, Alabama. I forgot that was on. Oh my goodness, no. I turned on my sticky keys in case you're wondering what that was all about, but we're still good. And Stuart Gratton just took the race lead. Didn't miss anything there. How about Stuart there in his own race? The GRT Double Dega event. He actually won one of these last year. It was Stuart Gratton and Ludovic Charette that won these Double Dega events a year ago. But now Nathan Stapleton, Lauren Martinez, Leonard Kochmer, Jack Oz on the inside, and we're going to see ourselves a cycle race here today, just like we did at Armory Digital. That race was won by Carson Miller, and 3 wide for the race lead, Lauren Martinez. Gratton actually getting a run on the outside right there. And he's going to lead 2 laps in a row here at Talladega.
And look where full sail Rogal Dorn has fallen back to in that middle row there in turns 1 and 2. I mean, this is just insane. We're already on lap 3, but the amount of movement that we're going to see throughout this race, you're going to have to be careful because you don't want to make a late block or anything like that because you could wreck yourself out.
And of course, these guys can pretty much go 3 wide and be perfectly fine. It's when they go 4 wide that it can become an issue here, and it just takes one driver being a little too aggressive, taking that opportunity, and then we can wipe out the entire field. Up front, you got Leonard Kochmer now making a move to the inside of Stuart Gratton, and Kochmer will get lap number 3. Of course, leading laps means absolutely nothing in this series. It's all about the finish and all about finishing top 10. You got Jack Haas, Vinny Scholes, Logan Williams won Dirt Extreme earlier this year. I think you were in the booth for that one with me, Daniel, along with Caleb. That was a fun event we had back in April. That was the only win for Logan Williams so far. He's 90 points behind Blaine Keys, but Blaine right now outside of this top 10, and that is not a good position at the moment, but he is on the inside lane and could very well cycle his way back up front. And already Rogal Dorn, Nathan Staple, and those guys who started up front, who were up front for a moment, now all the way at the back of the field, almost the outside of the top 20. We got 4 wide, up front, Drew Webb, Ace Garcia, Leonard Kochmer right there. There is move for Kochmer there to be made, and he is going to make it, and they're going to remain 3 wide, but that was a close one right there. You do not want to go 4 wide this early on in the race.
And I don't think that's going to be our only 4 wide that we're going to see here tonight.
Alonso to the inside of Vinny Scholes. LJ Semedo is there as well. Daytona 500 champion last year in 2024. Juan Romero won at Le Mans earlier this year. And Alger Baranauskas, in-season tournament winner on the inside lane. And just like that, Blaine Keys is there inside the top 10. And a lap ago, he was outside the top 20. That is how fast you can move your way up to the front. These are traditional old Talladega races that we're going to be seeing here in the next 2 days. And I tell you what, it's going to be anyone's game until we get to the end of this one, as LJ Semedo just led that lap right there. And LJ only has 6 total points on the season, only 1 race where he is pointed. Who knows? That would be a huge win for LJ if he can pull it off. It's not been a good year for him in terms of his performance.
Blaine Keys in the 14 there, looking on the inside of the 1. Started deep in the field, now working his way up to 2nd. Looking pretty strong here, but you want to be careful. You not want to get shuffled out here.
I think he's probably going to get shuffled out at one point, and he'll probably cycle back through. It's all about being in the right place at the right time and being in that position once you get to the end of the race. More 4 wide. Vinny Scholes getting shuffled out of line back in there. We'll have to see if they get out of this one. Lauren Martinez and Leonard Kochmer are going to keep it 4 wide in the back of the field, but Martinez going to be able to keep it together, and Vinny Scholes going to shuffle out of line and remain 3 wide. With it only being a 24-car field, it's a little bit easier for these guys to get out of a 4 wide situation. But still, if they're in the right place at the right time for that, I'm saying that a lot. That's really the name of the game here at Talladega. It's a lot about luck, and you can tell by the way these guys are cycling through. The ratings don't really matter too much here today, which means we're going to have ourselves possibly a first-time winner this season. Justin Zeidel would not be one of those. He got the win at Watkins Glen earlier in the year. Ludovic Charette behind him. You also got Andrew Miller, 2-time winner this season on mile-long racetracks. Got the wins at Nazareth, your home racetrack there, Daniel, and Milwaukee earlier this season.
A lot of movement there.
Both of the Ronnie cars are going to help each other out on that inside lane. Justin Zeidel to the race lead. Semedo was able to lead a couple of laps right there in the 94, but he could not hold on to it for too much longer, and there goes Justin Zeidel. Andrew Miller looking to the inside. Thomas Troxel in the 10. So many of these guys have a great opportunity of winning this race here today, and it's all about being in line. So right now, it really doesn't matter where you're at. As long as you're on an inside lane with about 5 laps to go, that's probably going to be your ticket to win this race, unless we get a caution, and then that can really shake things up. But these guys keeping a clean race so far, as we're a third of the way through Double Dega race number 1.
And remember, if it doesn't matter if you're in the top, 10, 5, you want to win this race, but if you know you cannot win this race, remember to stay inside the top 10, because at the end of this race, yes, finishing first is great, but anybody inside the top 10 will get points.
If you're Blaine Keys, you absolutely want to make sure you get points in these super speedway events to keep all those guys behind you in the championship. And we got more 4 wide. That's a close one there with Lauren Martinez and Isaac Nichols. And there was some contact there between Martinez and Nichols. Thankfully, the 88 had some room to the outside to squeeze up ahead of Ludovic Charette. Otherwise, that would have been a massive wreck right there. And keep in mind, these guys are going, as you see the average right there, 223 miles per hour. If they wreck, it's going to be a wild one here for these guys here in the Pro Series. Stuart Grattan moving his way back on the inside lane, looking to win a Talladega race for 2 years in a row here in the Pro Series, and looking to actually move his way up in the championship as well. Only 71 points behind Blaine Keys, and trying to chip away at that before we get to the end of this season. But how about Nathan Stapleton, Nicholas Samadillo, Logan Williams, Stuart Grattan, the top 4. Definitely a who's who of some of the best drivers on the channel in the past 10 years. Leading this field at the moment, you got Vinny Scholes, Alonso inside the top 10 right now. Matt Tuck was in the top 10 just a couple moments ago, and now he's fading back on that outside lane. Nicholas Samadillo looking to the inside of Nathan Stapleton here on lap number 11. We've already seen so many different leaders in this race, and we're not even halfway through this first race of Double Dega.
Halfway home, safe so far, but the other half could be, you know, the complete opposite, wrecking everywhere.
Boy.
But as you see right now, the 63 has no help on the outside lane. He's going to fall back.
Nothing up there. This is a very inside lane dominant racetrack, much different than when we go to Daytona where the outside lane has a lot of grip. That is not the case here at Talladega. And this is the one racetrack we go to in the Wall Cup Series where it is pretty much a true cycle race. Makes that race very difficult to win. How about Drew Webb moving to the inside? And Drew Webb as well has not had a good season. Only 9 total points coming into this event. There are still 4 drivers who don't even have a race win worth of points going into this event. That's Jack Haas, Audra Baranowskis, Drew Webb, and LJ Semedo. It's not been a good season for those guys here in the Pro Series. Anybody has a shot at winning this one here as we're halfway through. Drew Webb out front, Ace Garcia on the inside, Matthew Hubert, Blaine Keys on the inside, Carson Miller as well. And the last race that we had that was like this, where it was a true cycle race, was Armory Digital back in April. Carson Miller got that race victory. He hasn't really had that good of a season outside of that win. As a matter of fact, he only has 2 points in the rest of the season compared to the 25 he got from that race win. But this is shaping up very much like that Armory Digital race, and Carson Miller in a good position to possibly steal one here today. But we'll just have to see if he is in fact up front. No one's been able to dominate this race and pace this field. We do see that a little bit in the Cup Series once we get the Cup Series here in April, but right now no one seems to have a dominant race car, and all these guys fighting for every inch they've got to be in the right position at the end of this race.
And here comes Blaine Keys to the inside of the 2.
And Blaine Keys, this would definitely be the kind of race that he would win. If he were to win this race here today, that would really make it difficult for the rest of this field to have an opportunity at the championship. But I think just as likely as him not getting any points and someone like Rogel Dorn or Ludovic Charette or Stuart Grattan getting the race victory, that would really shake things up if that ended up being the case. Ludovic Charette there to the inside of Carson Miller for the 3rd position. Got Hubert getting stuck in that outside lane 3 wide. We're 10 laps to go here at Double Dega race number 1. And these guys are cycling like crazy. This is some wild stuff here at Talladega, and it is very difficult for any of these drivers to maintain any position. The weather does have a bit to add to that as well. With it being a cloudy day, these guys tend to go a bit faster, a bit more grip on the racetrack, a bit more horsepower. If you saw the online race that I called a couple weeks ago with Andrew Miller, you may realize that that race was cloudy and those guys were really going fast and had a lot of extra horsepower. And that's online, but online and offline are going to act very similarly with these race cars. And we're seeing a cloudy racetrack and a very fast racetrack because of it. And Blaine Keys getting stuck in that outside lane. And if you're any of these guys wanting this championship, you want to see that. But you want to see that with maybe 2 or 3 laps to go, because still plenty of time for him to get back to that inside and find his way up front by the end of this race.
Oh, there's a lot of time. I mean, with the amount of movement that we've been seeing lap after lap after lap, I mean, anybody can win this race. You know, there's some drivers that haven't won a race that could potentially win a race here at Talladega either tonight or tomorrow night. So, I kind of look at, these racetracks as, as a driver that maybe hasn't won or had a good season, maybe it gives you a little boost of confidence.
If you win a race like this, I think you're going to feel pretty good because
Oh, yeah.
it's a lottery draw right now. It's like winning the Powerball. You still got better odds of winning this race than winning the Powerball, but it's hard to win this, no matter how good of a driver you are. Audrey Baranowski's to the inside. Two-time Indianapolis 250 champion there, and there's Stuart Gratton back to the inside. Vinny Scholes, Logan Williams, and Nicholas Sambadio as someone blew up, and we were talking about this, and it's Blaine Keys in the 14! Keys. Our championship leader with an engine failure. That thing is toast. And this is what we were talking about coming into the show. Talladega is notorious for reliability issues. And with how much these guys are revving these engines up, 224 mile per hour average, it was bound to happen to someone, and it happens to our points leader, Blaine Keys, and that's going to mean no points. So a huge opportunity for Stuart Gratton, Ludovic Charette, Rogel Dorn, Leonard Kochman to jump up there and close that gap even more going into tomorrow's Talladega race.
Now, the only thing for Blaine Keys now when we have the second Talladega race is hope that he doesn't have a DNF, because if you think about it, now that's 2 races that he has no points that he's earned. So he's got to be very cautious the next race. And like you said, AG, these cars, like when you're going 224 miles an hour around this track, your car will overheat. You got to watch that water temp.
Mm-hmm. Blaine did not watch it enough there. I'm not sure if that's really anything that he could have controlled. That was a massive engine failure right there for the driver of the number 14. And that was unfortunate for Matthew Hubert because he was right behind that. Lost the draft because of it. That's going to end Hubert's chances at anything good here today. So now 22 drivers in the main pack here as we come to 5 laps to go in Double Dega. Race number 1, Justin Zeidel taking the race lead. That's Stapleton, Troxel, Drew Webb on the inside, but I think they're on the inside a bit too early. I would almost venture to say, you got Rogel Dorn on that inside lane right there. I would almost venture to say that he's too early right now on that inside lane. Sambadio, Gratton, Andrew Miller might be in a good position if they get on the inside the next lap around. That might be the sweet spot, but we'll just have to see. Could we see another engine failure and these guys split the pack up again? You just never know. It's always unpredictable here at Talladega, and a fast race here today. It's going to be a fast race tomorrow. You got to find yourself in that right position. I've been saying that all day long, and that is very important. And we'll see who's going to be in the right position in 4 laps' time. Troxel out front. Drew Webb, Ludovic Charette on the inside lane. Oh, and around goes Ace Garcia! And there's a big wreck there in turn number 1. Stuart Gratton, Nicholas Sambadio caught up in that one as well. Lauren Martinez, and this is before the point of no return. We will get a restart in this race. Drew Webb, Ludovic Charette, going to be side by side. It's going to be a 1-lap restart, by the way, is what we're going to have here at the end of this one. Ludovic Charette going to take the race lead here from Drew Webb. You got Carson Miller in the 21 machine looking to the inside as well. This is going to be for the race lead on the restart here at Talladega. And it's Carson Miller who wins the race back to the line.
Man, Stu Gratton got good.
Oh, I'm getting a little antsy there on the cooldown. I tend to forget that happens here at Talladega. It looks like they got out of it.
It was just a matter of time. Somebody made the wrong move.
Such a shame for Stewart because he had a huge opportunity in moving up in the points, and just like Blaine, he's going to get nothing out of this one. Same with Nicholas Sambadio, who's 10th or 9th in the points, 120 behind. Ace Garcia and Lauren Martinez, they don't really have any championship aspirations at this point, but they also got caught up in that one. This it's only going to be 1 lap, so it's not really going to be enough time for Matthew Hubert to get back up in line, but he's going to rejoin the pack. Rogel's in the back of the field now. This really only benefits Ludovic Charette in terms of the championship. None of these other guys who are up front right now are really up there in the points. So Ludovic in a good position to jump Rogel in the championship and close in on Blaine. So we'll see if that ends up being the case. But first, let's see what happened to bring out the first and what will be only caution of the day here in GRT Double Dega, race number 1 here from the Talladega Superspeedway. Well, it was, in fact, a four-wide situation. Stuart Gratton in the middle, and Lauren Martinez, she did not realize that Stuart was there. Just kind of pushed down on the 35, and Stuart had to react. Got into the quarter panel of Ace Garcia, and around goes the 2. And at this moment, Carson Miller, who's going to be the race leader, and we're actually not going to get back to racing. So Carson Miller just has to get it back around. He's going to win this race. He was third in line on the inside lane right there when this wreck happened, and won the race back to the line to presumably take this win in Double Dega race number 1. Tough break for Stuart Gratton, tough break for Nicholas Samedillo. Nicholas Samedillo is an innocent bystander in that one as well. Lauren Martinez, of course, kind of pushed up and started that one, and Ace Garcia got spun around. The 4 of those guys all torn up. And Samedillo and Gratton are going to be out of this race here. We're almost ready to finish this one. We were 4 laps to go across the line. Going to end their days here early, here from Talladega.
Seeing coming across the start-finish line here, you see the 41 come down into the 35 with Stuart Gratton. Didn't know he was there. Collected the 2 and the 48 of Samedillo. Just nowhere to go for them. And a horrible point situation for them. You know, if Blaine Keys going up earlier, they could potentially gain some points there. But in the end, they have to come back in race number 2 and potentially finish pretty strong.
This ended up being the race for the win. Ladovic Shred had a shot at it right there ahead of Drew Webb in the 18. Carson Miller, and we see so many Talladega finishes like this. They get the run to the inside off the exit to turn 4. Take it to the inside through the tri-oval. And across the line, Carson Miller wins the race back, and he just has to drive around to the checkered flag, which we'll see in just a moment. Tough break for Stuart Gratton and Nicholas Samedillo, but not a tough break for Carson Miller. It looks like he's going to get this win here at GRT Double Dega race number 1. We are back here at the Talladega Super Speedway, and you notice the pace lights are still on the pace car. And I'll show you, we tried cutting it there, and it wouldn't let me. So that will in fact be it here for Double Dega race number 1. And Carson Miller is going to get another Super Speedway win. Going to be his 2nd win of the season, only the 3rd time that he's finished top 10 and received championship points all season. But he's going to take the white flag here. Does need to make it back around and make sure that the car does, in fact, make it to the end of the race. But Carson Miller going to take the white flag right here under caution here at Talladega. Ladovic Schret, Juan Romero is going to get 3rd. Thomas Troxel, Isaac Nichols, Drew Webb, Vinny Scholes, Sergio Alonso, Leonard Kochmer, Nathan Stapleton with the last point. So no points for Ogledorn, no points for Stuart Gratton, and no points, of course, for Blaine Keys, or points leader. Ladovic Charrette's going to be the one who takes advantage of this one here today in her championship fight. And she's got a shot at getting the Blaine now, because she definitely has the capabilities when we get to the speedways, get to the short tracks, at beating Blaine Keys. We saw that last year in the Wall Wall Cup Series, and we're probably going to see it here in the Pro Series going to the end of this season. Well, Daniel, that was not particularly the finish we wanted to see, but for Carson Miller, it looks like it's going to work out to his 2nd win of the season.
Well, like I said before, anybody could win this race. We were, looking at Blaine Keys potentially winning here, but you just weren't sure who was going to win. Turns out it was going to be the 21. And it's a really big win for this 21, They really haven't had the season that they wanted. But, they came in here tonight, won at Talladega, first race at Talladega. Now can they back it up with a 2nd win, potentially in the 2nd race tomorrow night? We'll have to wait and see, but I'm sure 21 team's going to go and grab some Popeyes.
We're going to celebrate this one, no doubt about it. It's 2 Super Speedway wins. Of course, we got Talladega tomorrow as well, so we'll see if Carson Miller can sweep Double Dega. I don't think anyone's done that before. I feel like Turner almost did it one year. I don't think he did, though. I know Jesse Turner was really good. He won a couple of these Double Dega races back in the day. But, wow, that was a wild wreck to end it right there. Kind of came out of nowhere, and I'm sure we had a 4-wide situation that prompted it, but big-name drivers getting caught up, like Stuart Gratton, Nicholas Samedillo there. Not going to get any points here today. It's going to be Carson Miller with the 25 points, and Ladovic Schret with 18 points, which is huge in the title. She'll take 2nd in the standings and close in with him 2 race wins worth of points on Blaine as well. But Blaine Keys is, or should I say Carson Miller, is going to get the race victory here at Talladega. And that's his second win of the season. And we'll have to see if he can get it again tomorrow. He will be starting in the 17th position. Stuart Gratton is going to be the pole sitter for race number 2, with Lauren Martinez alongside him. You got yourself Logan Williams, Nicholas Samedeo in row 2. Nathan Stapleton, that's Isaac Nichols in the 64. No, that's Vinny Scholes in the 64. I don't even know who's in the cars. That's Vinny Scholes in the 64 and Matt Tuck in the 54 in row 3. Ace Garcia and Thomas Troxel in row 4. Jack Haas and Nathan Stapleton in row 5. Take a look at the rest of the fastest laps, and any ties are going to be broken by points, which means that Justin Zeidel is going to start ahead of Carson Miller. So Carson Miller is actually going to start 18th, and I don't think we have any more ties in terms of the fastest lap. But it's Carson Miller with the race victory here at Talladega, winning the race back to the line after the wreck that took out Stuart Gratton, Nicholas Samedeo, Ace Garcia, Lauren Martinez caught up. You were talking about it, Daniel. That second half might be where they wreck, and that is where they wrecked. And huge championship implications as well, because if that wreck did not happen, Stuart Gratton, Nicholas Samedeo would have probably cycled back up front, and Ladovic probably wouldn't have not gotten any points, because she would probably cycle back in those last 4 laps. So it works out for those guys who were up front at the time, and you just never know when that's going to happen. And Carson Miller going to take this race victory home here from Talladega.
Yeah, and he's starting 17th next race, so it's not a bad starting position. I honestly think starting here anywhere is not a bad position, just because of all the movement that we've seen. So I think everyone has the same amount of opportunity to win next race. But if Carson Miller could go back to back, that'd be pretty good.
We'll see if he does go back to back. That would be an impressive thing to do in a track like this. And in a way, he's kind of gone back to back on these cycle super speedway races. Yeah. Because he won Armory Digital back in April, very similar type of event. And he got this one here in Double Dega Race number 1. We'll see what he does tomorrow in GRT Double Dega Race number 2. And that's going to be 6 p.m. or after the truck race, whenever the truck race ends tomorrow, which is like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, because Talladega doesn't have lights. So, they got to do it in the afternoon on a Friday when everyone's at work and school. I mean, what y'all doing? Go Grant Enfinger, go Roger Garoof, of course. We're rooting for those guys. But, hey, gonna be a lot of fun tomorrow at 6:30, whenever that truck race ends. We'll get this one started for GRT Double Dega Race number 2. See if Carson Miller goes back to back. And, of course, we got ourselves Watkins Glen in the Turkey Hill Truck Series this Saturday as well. That'll be a lot of fun as they cross the halfway point in their season. Carson Miller, of course, a part of that. But fun race here from Talladega. Now we're going to have some more fun tomorrow as we get to race 18 of the season in the BodyArmor Pro Series. Here are the points for the BodyArmor Pro Series after 17 races. Blaine Key's still the points leader, but that points lead is starting to shrink, and he's got to be careful going into tomorrow's race. We'll see if he has another mechanical failure or not, because we had a couple of those here today. It's going to be a fun one for 24 more laps tomorrow. Huge thanks to Danny Paulus Jr. for joining me here tonight. Congratulations to Carson Miller on his second win of the season here in the BodyArmor Pro Series, and here are the points after 17 races here in the 2025 season. See you guys tomorrow for Double Dega Race number 2, and I will see you guys later.